Hi everyone. After watching this video, every single one of you will face a choice. But it's a choice you can only make if you have enough courage and determination. If you're able to pull this lever, you'll start noticing changes in your life literally the next day. And these changes will be for the better. You'll be able to approach women easily, build healthy, proper relationships with them. You'll stop thinking from a weak position and start thinking from a position of strength, and you'll feel that strength consistently. I'm going to clearly explain why all the information you've found online, books, courses, dating, or pickup trainings, either gave you no results at all or only very minor ones. Most men who have at least some experience communicating with women or even basic observational skills already understand what kind of man attracts women the most. Simply put, it's a man who can say no. A man who does what he wants, not what a woman expects from him. A man who isn't hypnotized by female beauty and doesn't bow his head to it. It's a man who can create conditions on any date where the woman doesn't feel like she controls the situation. A man who can tease, joke, and laugh with a woman, whether it's their first date or their 51st. This man is always just a little unavailable. A woman can't fully consume him or take over his thoughts and emotions. He can't be controlled, broken, or reshaped. And that's exactly the kind of man women want to be with. Now let's look at the opposite image. A polite, kind, well-mannered man who can't take his eyes off beautiful women. A man who's ready to give everything and says yes at every opportunity. In short, he does whatever a woman wants or expects. He follows rules, social scripts, and accepted norms. He's afraid of doing something sharp, awkward, or uncomfortable. His behavior often resembles a tame pet. He might look masculine, strong, even brutal on the outside, but internally, he's still safe, convenient, and controllable. If you read enough books, you'll see that this dynamic is real. But here's the main problem. Ineffective men want to be liked too badly. A man has a program in his head. I'm a good, kind, polite guy. He repeats this behavior again and again and sees that it doesn't work. So he goes online, downloads books, courses, trainings, and thinks, I was just acting wrong. Now I'll change my behavior, upload a new program, and everything will work. But here's the issue. Even if he tries to become an alpha, he's still an alpha who wants to be liked. He doesn't remove the old program, he just tries to put a new one on top of it. So the book about relationships was read to become more likable. But the real task is the opposite, to stop trying to be liked. For most men, this idea sounds shocking. But the truth is simple. If you don't give up the need to be liked, you stop progressing. Everyone knows about pickup culture. I don't think it's the best or healthiest approach, but even there, some ideas are useful. For example, a man approaches women on the street. He's afraid of rejection. He depends heavily on feedback. If he gets a number, success. If he doesn't, he feels like a failure. That's why pickup puts so much focus on how you react to rejection. At some point, the focus shifts. I realized this when I was about 18 or 19. I noticed that the version of me from yesterday would have been too afraid to approach a woman in that situation. But I did it anyway. Even if it didn't work, so what? I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed the fact that I acted. The goal stopped being get her number. The goal became try and enjoy the attempt. Most men just create extra problems for themselves. Imagine this. A guy studies dating and relationships. A friend asks him, can you make that girl fall in love with you? A man who understands things will say, why would I need that, even if I can? I'm not looking for problems. I enjoy the process and the results I already get. I can meet 10 women I enjoy talking to, and that's enough for me. That's why the starting point of real growth is this. Get rid of the desire to be liked. Only then do you begin gaining real, valuable experience. Now to one of the most common questions. Why do women lose interest? If a woman stops replying, disappears, doesn't show up to dates,
The reason is usually not her. The reason is that you're predictable. You texted, you went on a date, you had coffee, you talked about everything. Ask yourself honestly, how was this date different from the previous 10? It wasn't. Why should she feel strong interest if everything follows a script? She won't. Your real advantage is unpredictability and emotions. Dating isn't about saying the right words, it's about evoking emotions. Any emotions: curiosity, surprise, tension, playfulness. But you can't do this until you understand the routine. Most questions men ask me describe the same scenario. A woman loses interest because the man is boring and doesn't even realize how generic he is. To break out of this, you need dozens of dates, sometimes 50, sometimes 100. Over time, you start seeing patterns. You begin reading tone, pauses, gestures. And one day, something clicks. You're sitting across from a beautiful woman and think, I'm bored. Not because she's bad, but because you already know this script. And that's when you can do something unexpected. Not because you should, but because you understand the process. Any attempt to fake confidence or alpha behavior fails. Women sense fake energy instantly. The average woman has far more dating experience than the average man. She reads insecurity through body language immediately. If you're tense and focused on results, nothing will work. Now, an important point. If a date went badly and you feel it's dying, there is a way to save it. At the end, be honest. Say you like her. Say you were a bit nervous. And if the moment is right, take a bold step. Not out of fear, but out of sincerity. It's not a guarantee, but it's real. Fear can't be defeated by theory, only by action. Sometimes you have to go all in. If you're afraid of looking insecure, admit it. If you don't know how to approach, say it. Stop pretending to be someone else. That's where the freedom comes from. Your task is to put yourself into uncomfortable situations and learn to enjoy the process, not the outcome. You can even lead from a weak position through humor, honesty, and playfulness. Creativity doesn't come from the internet. It comes from experience. And one more principle. Stop focusing on results. A man who makes a woman the goal behaves like an inexperienced fisherman, jerking the rod at the first movement. There is no man that 100% of women want. That's a myth. Even 80% is the limit, and that's enough. Most men fail because they chase one specific woman. Real strength is calm honesty, protecting your boundaries without pressure or drama. You don't prove, you observe and walk away if it's not right. You can't set boundaries if they don't exist inside you. Women feel this without words. The goal is simple. Become, not pretend. Subscribe to the channel. More videos are coming to help you communicate more easily with women, understand psychology, and become stronger and more effective.